Welcome, friends. How are you? The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Today, we get started with support from A&E Heating and Cooling. Listen up. You might be like, I don't know, Zane. I don't know if this is for me. Trust me, it is. More and more people are doing this. It's called the Remi Halo. REMI-HALO. You hook it up very easily. You mount it into the air conditioning and heating systems of a home. And this bad boy kills viruses. Shit floating around that wants to hurt you. Okay? Have a healthier home and save money doing it with A&E Heating and Cooling. $100 savings. I'm going to get mine. You should get yours too. I think there's an image here that talks about, what is it? Bacteria, done. Viruses, see ya. Pollen, no more. Dust, goodbye. Dander from pets, which is like a very common thing in this household. You can't already tell. Mold spores. Not to mention VOCs. I have no idea what VOCs are. But anyway, this thing right here kills all of them. A&E Heating and Cooling will install it for you. I can't wait to get mine in to tell you exactly how the process goes. Well, basically, the process is this. You put the damn thing on, and then all of a sudden, it's on a microscopic level, the shit is gone. I don't know how it does it. My God. The Remi Halo. Reach out to Joe Martinez. Save $100. 616-516-8579. Do make sure that you tell them you're a listener of the Eric Zane Show podcast. That is key. All right. Also this morning, Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. I'll be making another trip there. Boy, probably Sunday, Megan, because, you know, you guys have the weekend off. And I don't want her without a car, unless she's okay with not having one. But there's really no point to that. She's got to do ship shopping. I got to drop it off because needs an alignment. And I know that because when I took it there for the oil change, it's actually my car, but Jackie's using it. They go over the car with a fine-tooth comb and say, all right, hey, man, this thing... tires are not wearing the way they should. You need a wheel alignment. Done. That's how it works. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. 616-532-6600. Servicing imports that include European and Asian models. Sidestep the Volkswagens. If you got a VW, sorry, you're out. Not to mention domestics, of course. And hybrids, my God. Anybody at a dealership who works on cars, they're like, uh-oh, this thing needs extra help. It's beyond our pay range here. Let's call on Irvine's, 616-532-6600. This catastrophe, I can't even talk. This catastrophe of a show comes to you each and every day from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. It is the 8th of January, 2021. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
Hello, this is Rick from TC Paintball. You've tuned into the Eric Zane Show. Listen in while slapping a knee or through gritted teeth. Hear all of Eric's opinions, even the correct ones.
Thank you very much, Rick. Even though you screwed that up, you know you got to end with, and now, here's your host, Eric Zane. If you want to make an intro for the show, send it along to Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Prep a little, write it out, write down your thoughts. I mean, you've heard all the other examples. And then do it. Just speak it right into your phone and send it off to me. You will be immortalized forever on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Welcome to the folks who are getting the show live. All right? I'm saying hi to you. There's folks listening on Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Share. Please share away as you watch it. Just hit that button, hit the share button. You're off and running. Facebook brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Also, live Periscope video on Twitter at Eric Zane Show. Follow me on Twitter at Eric Zane Show. Okay. And then retweet it, man. Do it. You're really helping out. Retweet what you're watching right now live. And then on YouTube, of course, Eric Zane Show on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification and the like button on the video. Crush the like button on the video. And off you go. YouTube, brought to you by F45 Training in Byron Center, Michigan. Did I include them on my sponsors today? Good. All right. Yeah, I actually have this stuff written down. So, yeah, my gosh, all of that there. And then, of course, wherever you download podcasts, you can get this show. All right. If you're like, I'm in the dark on how to do that, the best way to do this, and I hate that I have to explain this, but not everybody gets it. Some of you are a little technologically challenged. But look, we've been able to take Adam the Odd in Houghton Lake, Michigan, and really infuse him with some tech updates. I think he actually is able to download the audio podcast now, which is an absolute miracle. But this is so easy to do, okay? If you have a smartphone or even on your desktop, you can do this. Just go to ericzaneshow.com, click where it says free podcast, and then where it says subscribe, and then one of those badges. Now you're like, oh, I'm confused. I don't know the language. No, it's very simple. Go to a website, click where it says free podcast, and then click subscribe. That's it. Then all these different options, root around a little, explore. That's how people learn. Okay? Trial and error. You don't need me to hold your dick through all of this. You can do it. Just try. Oh my God, it's so simple. The show comes to you from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio, Baldwin Ace Hardware in the Northland of Baldwin, Michigan. Kind of like on the gate to the Northland, you know? And if you need anything DIY, it's up there at Baldwin Ace Hardware if you're in that neck of the woods. Okay, today's weird. Again, not nearly as weird as yesterday. I got a lot of feedback yesterday, and I will get to that a little later on. I've got an update on Soho Karen. You remember Soho Karen, don't you? That was the chick who, the guy comes out of the elevator, rich dude, happens to be a black guy, and he's got his 14-year-old kid with him. And all of a sudden, his kid gets tackled by some sick bitch who just assumes because he's a black kid that the kid stole her phone. Dad's like, I'm amazed at the restraint involved with the dad. The dad is a famous jazz musician by the name of Keon something or other. I don't know. It's in the story. I'd never heard of him, but he's famous. He's like won Grammy Awards. He's like, what the fuck is going on? All right, and I've got an update on her. Yes, there is some things we need. Yes, hello. This Sean Gotti here from Raleigh, North Carolina. There are some things that we need to discuss concerning everything that happened at the Capitol. You know the way I cover it. I try to make it as interesting as possible. But there's some shit going on now that I did not think I would ever see happen. And if you are a supporter of Trump, when you hear the statements from the resignations of the people in his cabinet, wow. I mean, what do you think when you hear that? I mean, even the staunchest of his supporters, to me, this would kind of shake the foundations a little bit when people who for 4 years have been like, the fucking staunchest of supporters as possible are now turning on the dude. Oh my God. He spoke yesterday To be fair, I'm going to play his whole fucking speech. All right? I thought it was a great, great speech. But I have a caveat on that. There's like an asterisk there that I have comments. Of course I have comments. I'll try to be respectful about those comments. I'm basically just trying to give you, this is what happened. This is what I'm feeling without being too inflammatory about it and insulting. The fucking ghetto side of me wants to be insulting. As ghetto as I can possibly be, which isn't much. I mean, let's be honest, I'm not that ghetto. Anyway, hang on. Damn it, I always start these shows, and I never bring my damn water in here. And I'm like, all alone. What the fuck am I going to do? I've got a no-filter Kevin update. It's a no-filter Kevin health update. Not really, because I don't really have any news for him about him. But as you know, no-filter Kevin is set to get a physical for the first time in, I don't know, ever. I'm not shitting you. Maybe when he was going to school as a child, my beloved late mother-in-law would take him to the doc. But this is a family outside of Diana that there's no visits to the doctor. No. Well, we managed to do that. Convince him to go to the doc, which I don't know how the fuck we pulled that off, frankly. That is my wife's brother who lives with us. And, I'll kind of go down the road, maybe give you the once-over as to how we got to where we are right now when we get to that. All right. I've got a bunch of audio clips of some random stories I want to get into. I've got some emails that I want to read. All of that here. But first, we start. So I reached out to Dr. Grish, the guy who was involved, who was my surgeon in the kidney donation that happened, that I donated on December 2nd. And again, continues to be great news for my pal Jeffrey. I still marvel at the energy level that he exudes. And, so the conversation, he heard me talking about, man, that I can't, I'm struggling to sleep throughout the night because I have to get up like 10, 15 times to like take a leak. And the good news is it seems to be subsiding. Like, when I wake up, I rush to in the middle, like when I wake up in the morning, I rush to the bathroom. But last night was cool. I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And the interesting thing is I reached out to the doc. I go, Grish, I can't, and he goes, all right, I've got some solid advice. And all I want to know is, I want to know if it's going to change. And it is, because I'm experiencing it now. But he didn't say that. What he said was, he goes, this is what I want you to do. I'm like, okay. He goes, I want you to not drink as much water in the later stages of the day. That way, you will have less chance of waking up at night. And I'm like, what the fuck? Well, of course, I've been doing that. That's the first thing I did. Who wouldn't do that? I can't believe you think I'm that much of a fucking moron that I would not know how to do that. Of what? So then I'm like, okay, great. Thanks. Thank you. I wasn't snarky. And then I'm like, look, I need to start pumping iron, man. Losing muscle mass fast. Okay. I need to get back after it. When can I do this? They actually said, you may start lifting light weights January 12, and then slowly ease into abdominal strength training. Okay, you're like, oh God, I never do that. Do any of you, when you hear me talking about the commitment of trying to stay healthy, do you ever like wince and go, fuck, I feel bad about this. I feel bad because I'm not doing dick. Well, you fucking should. Absolutely you should. Your musculoskeletal system, if you don't build muscle mass, my God, you're open. Oh, my back. Ah, That's what you're opening the door to. My God, you've got to do that. You got to work your heart and your lungs on the inside and then the muscles, man. That way you can also attract a hot chick, Kenny, who might even like video games. I got an email or a text or something like that from Kenny, and he goes, "Oh, man, good news. Look what came in the mail." I'm like, what? It's another video game system, man. Oh, man, I'm so happy. Like, what? Yeah, what is this? It's I don't know what the fuck it was. It was something that has something to do with Atari. Now, okay, anything involved with old school Atari games, and I think it might be one of these retro players or something like that. I don't even think he was very clear as to what it does. He's probably explaining it to all the other people that don't care in the chat. And I'm like, okay, now I've seen these things and I've actually had these things. There was one point in time where you ever do that? You get like the retro bug, and let's say you're a kid and you played with something and you see it and you're like, oh my God, taking me back. And you almost like get the urge to buy it. And sometimes you do. And then you might take it home and then you're like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? What? I feel like such a cock here. I'm not a child. I'm a fucking man. God, get this shit out of here. I've done this. Whenever I see, in fact, I'll probably do it again. You know what gets me? Not only old school video games like this, but to me, the old school video games like Atari, it's more fun to look at the box than actually play the fucking game. Because when you look at the still images of like Gunslinger or the shitty Pac-Man game that they made, the still image is about as exciting as the actual game. That's not fun to go with your stupid joystick. Oh my God. So all the games stink. But I think that I would one day love to actually get is a old school Tyco slot car racetrack. Oh my God. I don't know if I can resist that. You know, you build it all, and it's powered by electricity. You put the car on, a little electrical impulse goes through it, turns the motor in the car, takes off like a bat out of hell. Yeah, the first turn, the car is going way too fast. Car flies off, breaks in a million pieces. You're fucking bummed out. Dad, give me another car. Cars are expensive. I don't know why those didn't really stay in favor. That isn't really a thing that kids like. It might be because of that deal that the second you get that little trigger thing in your hand, you get the urge to just jam it as far as it'll go. And that puts way too much fucking power into the car. And then that's what happens. The thing is, it's ridiculous. Kids don't have the ability to feather it. You got to have a good fingering finger. If you're good at fingering the controller, then you'll be good at, this. So if you're good at fingering, you might be good at that. I'm talking about fingering the controller, by the way. So he's like, yeah, man, holy shit, man, this is a big day in my life. I tell you what, I tell you what, I really, oh my God, I'm just so stoked about this. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I said to him, I go, so have you is the game Custer's Revenge on there? And he goes, I don't know, man. Maybe it's got everything, man. It's got everything on there, man. I go, well, I don't know if it's got Custer's Revenge. Now, every time I talk to Kenny, I always say at one point some comment about, hey, man, well, you're probably going to stick the controller up your ass or something like that or something stupid. And he's always like, oh, man, come on, man. Why you always got to go there, man? Come on. And I'm like, no, so this game, Custer's Revenge, are you familiar with this game? Oh, it's probably on here. I go, I don't think it is. I don't think that was a game you could just go and buy in the store. It was kind of like a black market game. He's like, what are you talking about, man? I know everything there's to know about video games, man. I go, well, you don't know about this then. What is it? Well, in this video game, on the bottom left side of the screen, you are General Custer, okay? You got a hat on, and it's all like that shitty type of blocky graphic, and you can see an actual boner, an actual stiff dick. And you know what? I should probably experiment with this because I think I have a screen sharing option on the live stream. Video live stream. Custer's Revenge video game. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Let me see if I can make this happen. Is there a where is my share screen? Okay. Share Custer's Revenge. All right, hang on. Stay with me here. I'll get better at this, I promise. Okay, enable. All right, you should be seeing this if you're enjoying the live stream. Okay. Let me see. If you can, it's tough to make it out, but hold on a second here. Custer's Revenge. Oh my God! So your General Custer, if you can make it out, and on the bottom left side of the screen, you're nude and you've got a boner, and the object of the game is to run across the frickin' prairie here, and then there's a Native American woman also nude, and the object of the game, I'm not making it up, is to rape her. It's horrible. There's arrows flying in. It's completely inappropriate and awful, but Atari 2600 made this game, okay, called Custer's Revenge. So I bring it up to old Kenny there. I go, yeah, does the game have Custer's Revenge? He goes, no, man. So I explain. He goes, oh, you're bullshitting, man. That's a lie. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I go, look it up. I go, you think I'm bullshitting you, man? Look up Custer's Revenge. How the hell? I mean, what the fuck were they planning on doing when they made Custer's Revenge? Like unleashing it to the masses like the fucking old school E.T. video game? Here you go. Custer's Revenge. That might even be like a collectible thing. But what a ridiculous premise for a damn game. Man, I'm so stoked about my Atari 2600. All right. So there you go. Running yesterday at the dog park. It's our new favorite thing to do. It's the queen of the forest. It's me. Now, this is perfect because she is like, all right, I want to get in shape. It's the old goal for the new year, New Year's resolution. I know it's cliche, but still, whatever gets her moving. Now, she hadn't done shit for the past year. She'll be the first one to admit that. So, of course, we start out, and it's perfect because I couldn't move anyway because of the kidney transplant. All I could do was walk. So we walked our asses off at this place. This place is awesome too because, we love dogs so much, and we're there doing our thing. And a lot of people have these. In fact, yesterday there was a ton of puppies, white, or I wouldn't say golden. They're like white retrievers. They're really just one of my favorite dogs ever. A white colored retriever puppy. Looks like a fucking baby seal with the snow background behind it. These dark eyes walking towards us. The dog just loves you. Oh my God, it's our favorite thing in the world to do is stop and pet these dogs. And people are always like, can we pet your dog? Oh my God, we love this dog. We're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Occasionally you'll get somebody who's grumpy, a fucking grumpa-dump. And you're like, oh my God, your dog looks great. Can we pet it? And then they just like grunt. And you're like, maybe it's a bad idea. We'll just keep moving. Fuck. You can't be in a bad mood if you're at a dog park. Come on. So, all right. And then as we're doing our walk, what started as 2 laps became 3. And then what started as walking became like 1 minute jog, 3 minute walk. We did that for a full week. This is how you do this. You build up gradually, man. This is how you get strong. Even if you're the fattest, grossest piece of shit, you listen to your old pal Eric. You can do this. 1 minute jog, 3 minute walk. No big deal. Anybody can do that, right? And then you go minute 10. You can do whatever you want. Minute 10 on the jog, 250 on the walk the next day. Minute 20 the next day, jog. with a 2:40-minute rest, 2-minute 40-second rest. Yesterday was a 1:30 jog with a 2-minute and 30-second rest. So you see how eventually the clocks are gonna like intersect. Okay, it's gonna get to a point where we're running for 2 minutes and 50 seconds in short order, because we do this every day except Sunday, and with like a 10-second rest. She goes, "Oh my God, what do I do then?" I go, "You just take your 10-second rest." I go, "You've already done the work. It's gradual. It's perfect." And then the next day, you're running continuously. You're running 2.5 miles, no problem. You've already done it now, and you got to make sure that when you do run those short intervals like we're doing right now, you run at the expected pace that you'll be running when you are running continuously. So take it easy, Zone 1, zone 2, easy. You should be able to complete a sentence while you're jogging. You should be able to say several words. If you can't, if you're like Kenny taking a walk going, you're going too fast. That's rating of perceived exertion, RPE. Take it from your old pal Eric. If it's just based on how you feel, you should be able to talk. If you can't, slow down. You're not ready. You're not ready. So I'm always, she doesn't know it, but I'm like having a conversation with her and she's engaging me. So I know she's not working too hard. I go, "You're fine." "How do you know I'm going too fast?" She like panics. I go, "Trust me, you're not going too fast. You're able to communicate with me and talk, which means you're breathing, which means you're not working that hard. It's okay. You'll get there." It's amazing. I've got all this knowledge. I am absolutely brilliant. Why aren't you people asking me more questions? You probably think I'm full of shit. Stevie reached out to me with a question about running attire. She goes, I love to run, but I get cold when I go outside. First of all, keep running. As you get stronger, you'll run faster. When you run faster, you'll generate more heat. You know that. Layer up, and then buy something that is windproof gear. It's like wearing a fucking bag. All right. Wind can't get at you, and then all the heat you're generating on the inside stays there. You're warm. When you're wearing gloves, if your hands are freezing, pull your hands out of the fingers, okay? And almost like so that the skin on the fingers is touching the palm of your hand. Warm right up. You will not be cold. All right. Okay. This weekend, my God, we've got a honey-do list from hell, and I swear to God, I'm going to get after it. All right. We've got a shit show in the bathroom. You ever get into your shower and you've got that black mold where like the caulking is? And I'm always like, well, it's just there permanently, and it's either get a new bathroom or just live with it. I think I saw a YouTube video that there is I didn't even know this. I have so little where I have knowledge on exercise. I have no knowledge on doing things like this. You can scrape the fucking shit off and put new fucking shit on there. Caulk, right? Is that right? Is that what it is? It's like you put it on there and then you smash your finger along in it. What I'm also struggling with is the ceramic tile. Hang on. If anybody knows anything about this, I need your help. I need you to reach out to me. Seriously. Because not only where the caulk is black from mold from years of just whatever in the actual shower, but the ceramic tile, it's a stand-up shower. It's not a tub. It's a stand-up shower. You got the small squares, okay? In between them, it's also discolored, okay? I don't want to rip all that out. I don't want to completely redo my bathroom. Is there anything you can do to make it so what is I guess that's the grout. Like when they put the ceramic tile down, they put the shit and they put the ceramic tiles in there. I want that grout to be white. What the fuck am I to do? Eric at ericzaneshow.com. That needs to happen. Okay. But part of me is like, God, I just got to rip out this whole bathroom. The cabinets are outdated. But man, you know me. I'm just so damn cheap. I have in the basement, the basement is finished, but there is a spot where like a year and a half ago, some pipe loosened up and liquid water was dripping out of it, destroyed the ceiling. It was black mold all in it. And I was like, oh my God. So I took out all of the drywall that had been destroyed. So now you can see the pipe. And I've never repaired it. And so, she's like, it just seems like every room that I go into, there's some crazy disaster. There's like a hole in every wall. And then there's the whole business of the basement. The basement is unusable. I mean, No Filter Kevin dominates the sunroom upstairs, the TV room, so no one can watch TV. He watches 16 hours of TV a day. No, seriously, about 14. I'm not kidding you. Wakes up, sits by the TV, 7:30 a.m., and then 9 p.m. goes to bed. So 12, 13 and a half, right? 12? Yeah. 13 and a half hours of TV a day. Oh, my God. Fucking energy bill is through the roof. So Manny can't bring friends over. So, the basement is a complete disaster. And it is. It's embarrassing. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I just don't have all the damn time in the world. I'm trying to make a living here. So this weekend, I'm getting after it. And now I am not, some of you are so helpful and sweet. You know who you are. It's not out of the question to have someone banging on my door with their equipment to repair it today. No way. I want to do this. I swear to God. I almost got the bathroom done. That hole in the ceiling that I was bitching about earlier. I am so close to actually completing that job. I must do this on my own. The problem, I am a poor manager of time. That is seriously the fucking key. And I don't know, that's part of this. When I lay my head down at the end of my days, I swear to God, I want to be an efficient time manager with no clutter. These are all things I need. Efficient time manager, a fucking dynamo at repairing shit around the house, and organized beyond belief. My God, this all comes back to that. It's all the same problem. It's just I don't have the time. But I think I'm a shitty manager of time. I really am. Because all of the things I do to get this podcast running, I think I could trim off hours of work time if I worked smarter. I really, really believe that. So I'm like, I got to do this. I got to get this shit done. Because the problem is, I need the back half of the day to do these things. But here I am picking my dick at 6 o'clock at night right here, doing shit for the podcast. I'm like, you should not be doing this. Normal people don't do this, okay? They start the work day, they travel to a position, or sometimes they work from home, depending on, the whole pandemic thing. But they do stop at some time during the day. Fuck, when I was on the radio, it was such a cake job. You get there 1 minute before you go on the air. It was a battle to who could get there the latest between Hot Wings and I. Greg was the only one who actually got to the radio station at an appropriate time. Greg and Steve. The rest of us, we just kind of fucking flew in there. Like, oh, what the fuck? I don't know. But Greg was the one who planned the show. He wrote the show. He did all the work off of the air. We didn't do shit. Okay? So we fly in there. Show starts at 5. We get there minutes before, sometimes seconds before. Sit down. Fucking yeah. Do whatever. And then we get off of the air. This is true. I part of my thought process about the old radio show is because I said to you I should have gotten out of that. I was done years before. I had lost my drive, my creativity, and before I actually got fired. And there came a point when where I usually would stay there later and try to write bits or do something fun or whatever. I quit doing that shit. And then I'm like, fuck, I get done with the show and I'm like looking around like, I want to go home. I don't even want to fucking be here. What the fuck we got to stay for? I don't give a shit. And you know, that you can get to that type of work ethic or drive. And I think that happened to me, in all honesty. So, you know, I'm sitting there picking my dick. And the show gets done at 10. Like, oh, fuck, we got to do the segment 17. It's just, God, why can't I just go home now? This is terrible. I got no drive. I just want to go home and do stupid triathlon stuff. Oh, my God. And then we get that done with that, out the door. Finally, oh, God, 11 a.m. Thank God. I'm so happy. I would sit there and wait for Greg to leave. And as soon as Greg leaves, oh, fucking, we're gone, man. If Greg left, we're all leaving. And so, you know, you get home and then you got the whole day to do whatever the fuck you want and not have to think about the radio job at all. And I didn't do shit. If the only thing that I did was I brought stories from home to the radio station, and that's what I do now. But there's a little bit more work to it now. So then when I started working on BBL, there was a lot. Then I realized quickly, I was like, oh, you can't be such a lazy fuck anymore. You're going to have to actually try to write a show. So I did. I was like, oh, all right. And I felt quite good about that. But then I realized I was very, very much like, oh, shit, this is what Greg had to do all those times. Fuck. Now I know why he was pissed. So then it came full circle. And then you add into the whole thing about the podcast. I do so much more work now than I've ever done that I need to actually shut it down. Like you either learn to work more efficiently because the end of the workday is going to be 3 o'clock. That is the goal. So that's okay. I start working at 7 for this show. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 8 hours. Everybody does that. So there you go. 8 hours and then shut it the fuck down. No more. Okay. Then that's when people come home from school and work. That's when you got to plug into that. Then you're not so pressured. Just fucking do that. I have the hardest time with that. Man, my God. So the goal is to get work done this weekend on these fucking projects. Shit. I have got to do that. I must make my wife happy. That is a real goal. Are you like me? When you do something, you're like, man, she's got to be so happy. The day I stop doing that, the day I stop being worried about whether or not I'm making her happy is going to be a horrible, horrible day. I hope and pray that never happens. My God, happy wife, happy life. Son of a bitch. Okay. The open of the Eric Zane Show podcast. First of all, brought to you by my Cameo. That's right, me. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. Did you hear that? Hang on. Dummy. I just did a cameo for a close friend, Linda, who's probably on the live stream right now. And she has a sweet, sweet son who is just starting his second semester at Central Michigan University. And she wanted me to light a fire under his ass and motivate him. And you know what? It was fantastic. So I say. I haven't heard back from her. If I have, I haven't seen it. With that. So, that's what I do on Cameo. $15.99 is what it costs. And then I will give you a personal message. Whatever you want me to say, unless it's racist shit. Unless it's me endorsing the Proud Boys. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. It's a lot of fun, and I love doing them. I take great pride in my cameos. I met with John from Horizon Hydroponics yesterday, and my God, it's really important that you buy something from them. I'm trying my best to impress them because it's renewal time. That's always a critical thing here on the show. You want to renew your clients. You want them continuously supporting the show. You don't want them taking a break. It's like, oh God. So I'm in that flux period right now. Like, hey, what do you think? How's the podcast working for you? So if you go to horizonhydroponics.com, HORIZEN hydroponics.com and buy something, anything, use the coupon code Zane Show excuse me, on at checkout, you'll save 10%. And that also lets them know that, hey, Zane Show podcast listeners are buying on horizonhydroponics.com. Now, you can have it shipped to you. Orders $250 and more are free anywhere in the USA. Or you can use that same coupon code online and then just order that you'll pick it up. You can drive there and pick it up. Either go into the store. They do have limitations on how many people can be in the store. Or curbside. They'll just walk it out to you. 4 stores. Alpine, Grand Rapids. Byron Center, Michigan is the growers outlet. And then they got a store in Kalamazoo and Lansing, Michigan. So bye, and mention the show. HORIZEN, hydroponics.com. My friends at the Kent County Health Department are working tirelessly trying to keep people informed about things pandemic related. I got the word that the Queen of the Forest, her spot in the queue is moving up as an educator. And I'm hearing in the great state of Michigan that people 65 and older, your time is coming. We're still having some very, very dark days. There is no question. It seems to be pushed a little bit to the back burner after the catastrophe in D.C. But make no mistake, yesterday was the darkest day we've had in the history of the pandemic. Side note, I had a conversation with my brother-in-law, and he goes, did you know that if you take a test, they mark you down, and let's say you are marked down as positive, that's one case. I go, yeah. He goes, did you know if you go back thinking that you might have had a false positive and they take another test and it comes back as positive, that's another. That marks as 2. Did you know that? I go, no, I didn't know that. He goes, yeah. He goes, so that happened to a friend of mine, and he took it 3 times, and he found out that is 3 positive tests tallied. And then finally, he found out he doesn't have it. Now, he's been with me on my views of the pandemic. He goes, does that punch a hole in your story and my story and what we believe in? I go, no, not at all. Of course that's the way it is. And I go, it's also known that not everybody gets tested, and the actual number of people in terms of cases is probably more like 7 to 10 times the amount. There's numerous people that have been infected that never even know it. I might have been infected that have never, and I never would have known it. That happens. Well, everybody knows that. I go, the one thing you want to pay attention to, the one thing that matters at the end of the day, the one thing that matters, hospitalizations, the number of people in the hospital using beds, using equipment. That's the big thing. Outside of that, that's the biggest number right there, in my opinion. It's not deaths, because there's all sorts of instances where people are listed as dying of COVID and they did not die of COVID. That is dirty fucking pool right there. It's hospitalizations. That is and I go, you look at that. If wherever you live, they're like, it's fine here. It's fucking great. It's like a country club. That's the number you want to look at. My friends at the Kent County Health Department have all the information you need about where to go for vaccine, how to get the vaccine, where to go for testing. It's all there, man. accesskent.com/health. Okay, let's get into this. Trump, fallout after the incident 2 days ago. About 80 people now have been arrested. 10. God, that's a high percentage. 10. Yesterday, it was 60 people had been arrested, with 10 of them being from Michigan. 10 of Michigan's dimmest arrested. The Michigan fucking morons were well represented in the catastrophe in D.C. The stupid fuck who had his feet on the desk and thought he was hot shit, he's been identified. He'll be arrested if he isn't already. They're using facial recognition. They're just basically going through highlighting a face, search internet. Oh, here's this cock. Let's go get him. The cop has died. Let me go over this here. I want specifics on this. Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick. That is his name. He was defending the Capitol, and it was hand-to-hand combat, and one of the fucking maniacs grabbed a fire extinguisher and bashed him over the head with it. As time passed, the day wore on, he was being treated, and then he collapsed and he died. 9:30, January 7th, 9:30 p.m., United States Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick passed away due to injuries sustained while on duty. He was responding to the riots on Wednesday. Injured while physically engaging with protesters, returned to his division office and collapsed. Was taken to a local hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. My God. Okay, so, I guess the question is, were they able to find out exactly who was involved in that altercation? Because you're being charged with murder. Congratulations, of a Capitol officer, of a federal officer. My God. I think this is the most telling. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Before I get into that, let me get into this. I have a few clips I want to play for you. First of all, a friend of mine reached out and said, "What do you think of Trump now? Have you changed your tune after this speech? I wonder how the media is going to spin it. Are they going to say this and this and this?" I don't know. I don't give a shit what the media says about it. I'm just going to tell you what I think about it. Okay? So, again, this is a gigantic story. So I throw this out there. Save it if you're going to go down the road of, man, I hate this. Be funny. Yeah, no. I'm just going to talk about the things going on in the world again. I take what's dealt to me and I do my thing. So save it. I understand. You don't like it? Come back tomorrow. Come back Monday. But I got to do my job, and this is how I feel. And I'm trying to be as fair and upstanding on this shit as possible and take it as it comes. The whole show isn't like this today, as you know, but it's still a big fucking deal. So you better believe I'm all over it. This is Trump last night. He made this speech
on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay. We have just been through an intense election and emotions are high, but now tempers must be cooled and calm restored. We must get on with the business of America. My campaign vigorously pursued every legal avenue to contest the election results. My only goal was to ensure the integrity of the vote. In so doing, I was fighting to defend American democracy. I continue to strongly believe that we must reform our election laws to verify the identity and eligibility of all voters and to ensure faith and confidence in all future elections. Now Congress has certified the results. A new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th. My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power. This moment calls for healing and reconciliation. 2020 has been a challenging time for our people. A menacing pandemic has upended the lives of our citizens, isolated millions in their homes, damaged our economy, and claimed countless lives. Defeating this pandemic and rebuilding the greatest economy on earth will require all of us working together. It will require a renewed emphasis on the civic values of patriotism, faith, charity, community, and family. We must revitalize the sacred bonds of love and loyalty that bind us together as one national family. To the citizens of our country, serving as your president has been the honor of my lifetime. And to all of my wonderful supporters, I know you are disappointed, but I also want you to know that our incredible journey is only just beginning. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Okay. Here's what I think. And again, I'm trying to keep this fair. I thought that was excellent. I thought that was a great speech. That is late. Way late. It's too late. Something like that should have happened the day before. And the absurdity, I think this is ridiculous, by the way. It is completely absurd of how much that flies in the face of what you said the day before. It's opposite. You said the day before that those are very special people and you love them. That's what you said about the same people that you just indicted right there. So I guess my question is, which is it? Are they special and you love them, or are they traitors? Because you've said two things on consecutive days. You must pick. Did you not? I think you need to acknowledge. Now, maybe there is something there. Maybe if he would have acknowledged it and said, when I said yesterday that those people were special and that I love them, that was a mistake. And I don't know, think up anything. Make up a fucking excuse, but don't just ignore it. You're going to need to come clean with these people. And so I don't accept that. I don't accept any of that. I think that is all just fucking words. And I don't even know why he's saying these things, because at this stage of the game, and with so many people turning on this guy, what good does it do you? What are you trying to salvage? Your legacy? Because that will never, ever, that cannot be salvaged at this point after what has happened and what you said on the day of. Unfortunately, you've done this to yourself. So with all due respect, that is too late and ineffective, in my opinion. And then you, again, going down the road of election fraud. Nothing, not a single bit of anything that you ever suggested was proven to be true. And that is a fact. Nothing what you said existed. I don't have a problem with someone exploring it, but it's the way you did it. It's the way you suggested it. It's the way you riled up these people and got them so upset to doing these horrible things. It's disgusting how much you did that. And for all of them, I don't know how I actually, in a lot of ways, feel bad for people who got so wound up to be able to then want to do what they did, to be able to take what that guy said. It's a little scary if you think about it. What he said, and in fact, in all fairness, when he was speaking the day before the day of the incident, he said, I want you to be peaceful. He actually said that. I read it on this show. They don't hear that shit. They just went down and fucking kicked ass. And again, I don't know. So that's, hold on, before I get ahead of myself. That's my take on what he said, and I think that's fair. It's what I think. I allowed it to be played. I allowed you to hear it. I'm not going to sit there and lose my mind and say say terrible things about the guy, but I don't believe a word of what you said. I think it's all bullshit. Back to the shitty response, and the internet has been really funny lately. Funny in a strange way. Someone posted a picture. God damn, is this a painful thing to see? Because there's been a lot of talk about, if you're a black guy, you're like, what the fuck, man? We get our asses kicked when we break windows, and holy shit. The one is of the guy holding a black guy holding his fist up, like Black Power. It's an illustration. Dude's holding his fist up, and the cop in the image is spraying him with mace. And then picture of dude below that illustration, white guy holding a Trump flag running, and the cop is back is turned and running away. Fuck. the whole response, and that was, remember on this show, I said, my question is, why were the cops fucking so craven on this? It's why didn't we see an ass kicking? We should have had a unbelievable, an unbelievable police response. When that group got there, they should have been ready. Right now around the Capitol, they have this big fence. That should have been there. Man, there's no excuse. I guess the guy who's the chief of the Capitol Police, he has been asked to step down. Heads are rolling on this deal. This is awful. And it would not surprise me at all if there's some type of lawsuit, especially for the family of Capitol Police Officer Sicknick, about how ill-prepared they were. This was fucking crazy. And I was thinking about it. I talked about it on the show. And you know who else talked about it? Is Senator Lindsey Graham. Now, I have to be careful, because a lot of times when I play these clips of politicians, people are like, fuck, Lindsey Graham, you were complicit. You were hand in hand with Trump all these years. Yeah, he was. He absolutely was. Of course he was. He's a Republican. So now you're a traitor, and you shouldn't be. Lindsey Graham here is bitching about the response of the police, or lack thereof, and he couldn't be more right. And so set aside all your hate and venom and just fucking listen for a minute to what this guy has to say. And he starts with that point about how anybody at a Black Lives Matter protest, if they did this same thing, they would get the fuck kicked out of them or killed. And he's right.
Where were the National Guard? Black Lives Matter protest. Have you seen the images on the Capitol steps where we had National Guard members in riot gear? Why weren't you as prepared this time around?
Fuck. Oh, boy.
Where was the Pentagon? There's all kind of stories that they were refusing to activate the DC National Guard. I don't believe that to be true. But what kind of intelligence gathering apparatus does the Capitol Hill Police Department and the agencies in charge of defending the Capitol have? How could they fail so miserably? We're 20 years after 9/11, right? Yesterday, they could have blown the building up. They could have killed us all. They could have destroyed the government. People coming through the windows had backpacks as big as my desk on the Senate.
Time out. Think about that. Those people had a better chance of destroying the government than the terrorists on 9/11. They didn't have the equipment to do it, but they had a chance to. They had more access to the inner workings of how we operate day to day than Muhammad Atta. My gosh, that is incredible. I never really looked at it that way. Now you might say, yeah, but they were just a bunch of hotheads fucking going in and taking pictures and shit like that. Well, all right. Yes, that's true. But what if one of these crazy fucks who probably believes in lizard people like the fucking maniac in Nashville had a different motive and went under the cover of all of these maniacs and he could have just walked right in and done what God knows what. And so Lindsey Graham is 100% right here. Holy shit.
They could have destroyed the government.
My gosh.
People coming through the windows had backpacks as big as my desk on the Senate. They should have been challenged. Warning shots should have been fired and lethal force should have been used once they penetrated the seat of government.
Lindsey Graham is saying publicly, we should have killed those guys. That's incredible.
Used once they penetrated the seat of government. Those backpacks could have had bombs, chemical agents, weapons. We dodged a major bullet yesterday. If this is not a wake-up call, I do not know what is. Is it a money problem? If it is, we'll fix it. Is it a leadership problem? Obviously. Is it an intel failure of the highest proportions? Absolutely.
My God. I don't know. Something's bugging me about the way that all happened. And I can't quite put my finger on it. It almost seems to me, I don't know why. Something's barking at me. Alarms are going off about how easily they got in. What the fuck happened there? More is going to come out about that. I just got a really, really sneaky feeling. Kaylee Super Hot, who is God, I can't even pay attention when she's talking. Quit being so. Would you fucking ugly it up or something? She didn't even do her hair yesterday, and she's making a statement. And basically, she was kind of going down the same road as the president, condemning the bad guys a day late. But wait till you hear. I'm only going to play the last 10 seconds of her talking, and because I don't want to play the same thing basically that Trump said. She's condemning the violence, and then she gets done. And then the gaggle has questions that they want to say to her, all these media people, all the political reporters. And there are no doubt questions like, well, why the fuck didn't you say that yesterday? Or what the fuck is going on? And they're pissed. And you wait till you hear the response. And she just grabs it from the podium, the statement, doesn't even close it. And she's fucking gone to go be hot somewhere.
Capitol was appalling, reprehensible, and antithetical to the American way. We condemn it, the president and this administration, in the strongest possible terms. To live in safety.
I'm struggling on the audio today.
To reject the violence that we have seen. We are one American people under God. Thank you very much.
Oh my God. That sounds like a really bad morning show where everybody's talking over each other. Hey, welcome to Mojo in the Morning. What they'll ask, I say the president mowed the lawn? Yeah, he said the president mowed the lawn. Oh my God. Okay, so now, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I don't care. Well, I do care, but ultimately, it's. I mean, a lot of people saying, "All right, step down, impeach him." I don't know. It kind of seems like a fucking crazy ass thing to do to me, considering we have 12 days till this is all over. And honestly, it's such a bummer right now that I think that might even get more people pissed off who are already on edge. And I don't know if that's gonna help at all, frankly. There's talk about if Pence is invited to the inauguration, he would go or something like that. I can't imagine Trump would be there for it. There's been a long laundry list of people that have quit. Now, the president's cabinet, those 15 people. Now, it already has a number of them are acting secretaries, okay? And now these are the people, as we talked yesterday, who, if they did decide to invoke the 25th Amendment, and that would have to be by Trump or by Pence, someone would say, hey, are you going to? And if he says no, that's the end of it. But if he says yes, or if he brings it up to the cabinet, says, look, I'm going to invoke the 25th Amendment, then it's like, all right, who's in? And if 8 hands go up, that's it. He's out. Trump is done. But they don't even know, because based on what you see in the Constitution of the United States, what to do with an acting secretary. Okay, because again, he fires people left and right. You're fired. And then there's an acting person that comes in. They don't even know if they have. It's so there's no like fucking playbook, okay, for how to do this. Now, I actually hope to God they don't do that. I hope. Trump just kind of rides it out here. He doesn't have access to Twitter anymore. No, I take it back. Twitter is back. He's no longer on Facebook or Instagram, and he's largely been neutered at this point. Let's just hope that it just kind of dies out, my opinion, and he just the term ends, and then that's it, and then fucking pick up the pieces. You know that when every president, they have like a library or a museum built in like whatever town, like here in Grand Rapids, man, we got this unbelievable historic facility, the Gerald R. Ford Museum. It's an incredible historic structure with so much history. It's awesome. I love going through that thing. Reminded of a time back then, and that's pretty cool. And he's buried right there with his with Mrs. Ford. I wonder if Trump will have that type of thing. What would he do? A casino, perhaps, or I don't know. And would it be in New York City? I don't know. I just got a really, really odd feeling about what the future is going to hold concerning that guy. It's a little strange to me. But now these members of the cabinet are also stepping down. There was the Transportation Secretary, Elaine Chao. She is done. And now, of all people, Betsy DeVos has turned. And she has turned and she fucking blamed him for all of this. She hasn't said shit for years, okay? And now she has resigned because of the riot and she blamed him. Motherfuck, that's massive, okay? Okay, let me go over this with you. The secretaries were among a number of administration officials who announced they were leaving in the wake of the mob of terrorists who breached the Capitol. And I do believe that was a terror attack. I would say that all those people are fucking terrorists. And they should be treated as such. Did you see the one chick who was like, God, where was it? Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get this. No, I don't want to waste my time. I'll save it for the Patreon. The audio of the chick from Knoxville. And she goes, oh, no, they maced me, son of a bitch. Oh, God, who are you? I'm so-and-so from Knoxville, Tennessee. What were you doing? And she goes, we were storming the Capitol. We were causing a revolution, which is defined as sedition, which she admitted her guilt right there. It's like a 20-year felony, you fucking dummy. Now, I know a lot of people are like, you can't call them terrorists. Why not? Are you kidding me? Why the fuck wouldn't you? What's keeping you from calling them that? Hang on. Again, the rest of the show isn't like this. But I wanted to get out of the way. I feel strongly about it, and I think it's fucking great. So, I love everything I do. Oh, excuse me. Transportation Secretary, who this chick would have been the one of the people voting on him being taken out of office. Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao. She wrote she will resign effective Monday, was deeply troubled by the entirely avoidable events at the Capitol building. She says, I'm tremendously proud of of the many accomplishments we were able to achieve together for the country. I will never forget the commitment you have for this department and the United States of America. Her statement continued. She added that will help the transportation. She will help the new guy, Pete Buttigieg. Remember him? Mayor Pete, in taking on the department. It's been an honor of a lifetime to serve the U.S. Department of Transportation. And that was that. So she wasn't too scathing in her resignation. DeVos, God, submitted a letter of resignation yesterday, calling Wednesday's events unconscionable for our country. In writing to the president, she wrote, there is no mistaking the impact your rhetoric had on the situation. That is placing blame. Betsy DeVos just blamed Donald Trump for causing all of this. You heard it right there. And it is the inflection point for me, she wrote. So that's it. She's like, fuck this. I am out and fuck you. She continues. Say what you want about Betsy DeVos, but this is great. This is fucking awesome. She writes, impressionable children are watching all of this, and they are learning from us. I believe we each have a moral obligation to exercise good judgment and model the behavior we hope they would emulate. They must know from us that America is greater than what transpired yesterday. Oh, my God. So, if you're pro-Trump and you are of sound mind like me, and you're taking all this in, how do you react when one of his cabinet says this is all your fault? What do you do there? Do you say, well, fuck her or fuck him? How are you, I've been very clear with you and transparent of how I process this and how I handled this. I talked about it. What are you doing? Is there checks and balances going on in your brain? Because I honestly don't know, people I love, how the fuck you look at him and say, that's my guy. It's a mystery to me. And I don't mean disrespect. I just don't know how you do it. I took a really good hard look at myself and said, fuck this. There's no way in hell. How are you doing that? Can you explain? Can you help me understand what you're doing in your noggin to say this is correct? This is appropriate. It's not. And I think you know it, but you might not be ready to admit it. And that's okay. But fuck it, man. This is absolute horseshit. All right. I want to hear from you. Eric at ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliner striping inbox. I mean, just tell me what you're thinking. I'm not trying to insult you in any way. I'm not trying to indict you, judge your character, but help me fucking understand. Okay. Patreon is 10% off now, and a lot of people are taking advantage of that. You don't have to worry about it showing up every month. You just pay once and you forget about it. Then you get all the content you want on Patreon. And then for some reason, it's always been a battle. For some of you, it doesn't renew automatically each month. I don't know why that is. Well, I'm like, fuck it. Let's just do it all at once. So I'm offering 10% off. So you buy my Patreon for either the 5 tier 1 or tier 2, and you're going to save 10%. So tier 1 for a whole year is $60. But since I'm saving you 10%, it's only $54 now, and that gets you all of the audio archive. For $120, you get the audio archive and the video archive and the live streaming for all of my events. Okay? And with the 10% savings, that's now $108. Pay once. Forget about it. It's done. And then it's us together on Patreon doing great things. Tonight, 7 p.m., Ben and Eric Patreon podcast is back. Live stream via Zoom on Patreon, and then the recorded version after. Okay? All there on Patreon. Something else fun that we're doing is the Eric Zane Show podcast, Paintball War 11, 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 kidney. This is our first paintball event since the kidney transplant, and I'm ready. I've been given the green light. I am playing. I'm participating. Thursday, January 21, 6 p.m. start. I'm bringing stacks of pizza from BC Pizza in Grand Rapids. You should get pizza from those guys. Great group. Thank you very much. BC Pizza online at BC. BCpizza.com. I don't even know. BC Pizza GR. God, I'm an idiot. Anyway, go to bcpizza.com, click on the locator, and the one in Grand Rapids, and you're good to go. Okay. Very good. Thank you to them. So, yeah, that's all going on, that big event, and it's $35. You get the paint, you get the mask, you get the gun, and we're going to play till about 9 p.m. I am reasonably close to saying 100% that Tristan Grant will be there. Former Grand Rapids Griffins legend, Calder Cup winner, an all-around great dude. His words, I haven't completely committed. No, he says, I see it. Okay. Now he says, I'm going to see if I can make it. And I'm like, okay. Well, that's kind of a commitment. So I wrote, gather all your other old man friends and commit to paintball. I already mentioned it in the podcast. Don't bitch out like you used to on the ice. He responds with, you're looking for a quick one, Eric? Drop you like a bad habit out there. I'll be hunting you like the predator in the jungle. In fact, what I need to do, and I got to write this down because I'll forget, is in the show notes of this podcast, include links to fights online, hockeyfights.com, of Tristan Grant when he was playing in the American League. Big fucking goon. Not bad. Good hands. Can't skate for shit. All right. So that comes up on the 21st of January. I have an event on Facebook, an event invite there. You can click on that you're coming, or reach out to me. I need to hear from you. Please do it right now. Hang on. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. That you're coming. Give me a head count. I need to know how many of you are coming. Send me an email. My friends at Blue Frost IT, inviting you to check them out online, bluefrostit.com, for your small or medium-sized business in West Michigan. If you need IT support, this is who you call, 616-200-8550. If you're in a pinch, they can help you get online again. And then I recommend that while you're doing that, you sign up for a monthly service contract with Blue Frost IT. That way you have your IT department all ready to go. You don't have to worry about the expense of a immediate service call like that. And then you're constantly protected. It's an insurance policy for your business with Blue Frost IT. 616-200-8550. Online at bluefrostit.com. So the crazy Karen. You remember this sick idiot, Soho Karen? Maya Ponsetto is her name. What a weird-looking mugshot. He's just a strange-looking chick. The mugshot didn't do her any favors, but man, my God. She's the one who assaulted the 14-year-old jazz trumpeter Keon Harold's, the son of the jazz trumpeter Keon Harold at that hotel in Manhattan. She lives out in California, and she's had like a rough go, even leading up to that moment. I think there was all sorts of drama legally in the past with her. Well, the cops in New York were like, we've seen the video. This was absolutely an assault, and then they added a robbery attempt. They looked at the video of the chick, and they said, this is a fucking robbery attempt, and we're going to go get her. So the NYPD reached out to the sheriff's department in Ventura County, California, and they said, all right, this 22-year-old chick, she's sick as shit. We're gonna fucking bring the heat on her. And they went out and arrested her. Cops did this Thursday, working in conjunction with the NYPD. She is expected to be charged with attempted robbery, according to the police who are quoted in the New York Post. Ponsetto scheduled to face a judge today in California, and then they will extradite her to New York. If you aren't familiar with the story, let me back up. She's in this hotel in Soho. Keon Harold comes out. His son is with him. She has lost her phone, and she assumes that the black kid has it. So she tries to do a fucking a Terry Tate tackle on the guy. And the dad is like, wait, what are you doing? What the fuck? And he separates them. And then she's going crazy. He has my phone. He has my phone. He has my phone. the manager of the hotel says, all right, kid, let's see your phone. And then the dad is like, Keon Harold's like, no, fucking don't take your phone out. Fuck this. The only reason why she's saying this is because you're a black guy. This is fucking crazy. He doesn't have your phone. Fuck you. Get away. And then the manager's like, yeah, well, you better produce the phone just to, calm it down. And he goes, no, I don't have to do that shit. This is fucking racist. And he's 100% right. So this is what you do when that happens. You call that dude Ben Crump and get that fucker on the case, and you sue the fuck out of these people, and he is. Keon Harold is going to end up owning this hotel. This is absolute horrible racist profiling bullshit. And it turns out this sick bitch left her fucking phone in the Uber. All of this because you couldn't find your phone. Way to go. Way to wreck your life, you stupid idiot. So she will face that judge Friday, and then they're going to extradite her to New York. Is that like you have to have like the federal marshal with you, and then you like go onto the airplane in cuffs? Oh, my God. You are just an absolute mess. How can someone be that? I mean, you hear about somebody who's 40 or 50 who life has just ground them down to be a complete racist asshole. How do you get that fucked up? NYPD issued a warrant for her arrest. The detectives then had to travel to California. She should have to pay for all this, by the way, to question her about the attack. And then they probably gathered the information and then issued the arrest warrant. I read somewhere that it was on the Today Show today. Her attorney said that she is suffering from mental issues. That's a good move. That is a power move by the attorney. That's a case where the attorney is looking at all this and goes, oh, shit. Thanks for this pile of shit. Thanks. How the fuck am I supposed to deal with you, you asshole? All right, well, you now have mental issues. I am going to say it's all mental issues. That is your first line of defense. You're crazy. It's bad when the first thing they do is say you're a lunatic. That's how we're going to get you off, is say that you're a sick, crazy bitch. Oh, my God. Way to go, asshole. Okay, some audio I want to play for you. Some of it's fun. This is not. Today's the last day. The last day that you will be able. It's the last show of Alex Trebek. And they're going to air that thing. Of course, he passed away, pancreatic cancer. This is a montage.
Alex Trebek.
First show.
This week, I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. What is, we love you. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Cost you $19.95.
It's getting broken up.
You're left with $5.
I got choked up because it suddenly registered on me. Throughout my life, I've always wondered about how courageous a human being I was. I just look at it as it's part of life. Does that mean I'm courageous because I'm dealing with it? No. I could be scared to death and I'd still have to deal with it. But I'm not scared to death. So maybe I am courageous. What I would do on that day is tell the director, time the show down to leave me 30 seconds at the end. That's all I want. And I will say my goodbyes. And until we meet again, God bless you and goodbye.
Damn it, the music. Oh, God, it gets me. Almost got me there. I've witnessed this twice this week. There is something that happens to a person when they know they're going to die. They have this, and I don't know if it's just something that triggers in their brain. I don't know. Maybe they're a person of faith and they know they have, Jimmy V, that type of thing. How do people like this have that type of strength to be able to say it's going to be okay when they're the one dying? I mean, it's really, really, really remarkable. I heard it also. You heard the story earlier this week about Connie Kelly passing away, who radio host of Mix 95.7, and I inadvertently in a post referred to her co-host Fish as a sidekick. He's not a sidekick; he's a co-host. I heard audio on their show of the last time she called into that program, and I don't know when it was, but I think they got the idea that was her goodbye because of the what she said. And man, it's really odd to me to think that a person who is alive and they have committed to the idea that they are not going to survive, and and that they know it's coming. I don't know how people do that shit, man. And he did it right there, and she did it on the audio. I heard of that, and I don't know how they do it. It's remarkable to me. It's devastating and awful, and but still, to be able to do that is something spectacular. That is to be able to communicate on that level when you know you're going to die. You know you're going to die. I cannot imagine having that ability to stay focused enough to have that strength, without just becoming a big puddle of snot, tears, and piss. I don't know about the piss, but my God. Okay. How long does it take 4-year-old twins to stay quiet? This is a YouTube audio where the mom says to these 2 4-year-old twins, how long can you stay quiet? This will put a smile on your face.
Hey, girls, we're going to have a contest. Who can be quiet the longest?
Me. Okay, I guess.
How about this one? Mom and dad discover that the newborn, the baby, a few months old, whatever, when you actually speak the word no in whatever context, will start to weep.
Alexander, when he hears the word N-O, gets really sad, even though he's really happy right now. Mom, try it. See what happens.
Did Daddy tell you no? You could... No.
Don't be sad. It's okay.
You can't...
It's okay.
No.
Oh, no.
When I first heard that, I was like, oh, God. Well, why are you like doing it for the world? Why are you making the kid feel bad? I used to do this, too. One of my kids, I don't know, Jackie or Madison, it was one of the girls. For some reason, when you sang the song, You Are My Sunshine, to one of my girls, they start to cry. And was it? No, or was it? It was a different song. I'm not sure what it was. Or is that a video that I know that one of my kids did this, and I may be combining what we used to say. I'm not even remembering what we would say to actually make her cry, because I think I saw a YouTube video of that exact same thing, and maybe that's what's in my brain. I'm having a brain fart here, is what I'm telling you. But there was something that we would say to our kids. One of the girls, that would make them cry, and so we did this exact thing. The interesting thing about it is I want to say, oh, fuck those people. But when a kid sticks its lip out and starts to do that, it's just fucking funny to me. So I'm pretty guilty of doing this exact same thing. It's when that face frowns up and the lip actually goes sadistic asshole. Another good news story. This has been happening. People all over the globe, well, in the U.S. especially, have been leaving tips for $2,021, 2021, okay? This happened at a juice bar in Northeast Miami-Dade. South Florida juice bar started the new year with a tremendous tip from one of their longtime customers. By the way, I'm looking at the receipt. It says $71.84. Who the fuck pays $71.84 at a juice bar for? My God! So the tip is $2,021. One of these things you hear about local business, helping out the local business during the pandemic. Like if you go up to Newego and go to Jimmy's COVID Shack and you order some takeout, freedom fries and a Trump burger. And then you go to pick it up, you leave a tip of like a Trump sticker and like 6 cents, and they'll be really happy. So that's kind of what they're doing there.
A beautiful client of ours blessed our whole team. 2021 came in as expected on that tip.
We always look forward to these type of things, and it kind of builds an incentive for us to work harder and cater to them.
We're always going to win because what we do You know, it's for the people. And when you do things from the heart, you'll always be winning.
No, that's true. How'd you like to be the guy after that, though, knowing, okay, let's say dude gives it, there's the next dude in line, he's paying more for overpriced stupid juice, and he says, oh, yeah, hey, oh, my God, this guy gave us $2,021. And you're like, oh, fuck, what do I do? Well, I'm not doing that. I'll just give you, fuck. I wasn't going to give you anything. I wasn't going to give you any tip. Oh, fuck, I'm picking it up. What the fuck? All right. Tag Accounting says tax season is here. I just got my appointment March 1. I'll be in front of the Gins. I like to do it face-to-face with Troy Ginzer. Tag Accounting. TagCPA.net. March 1 is my tax date. So what do I do between now and then? I gather up as a self-employed all the various shit that I spent money on. I get all my forms that I get sent into me about about my income and what I do, and I gather it all in my hot little hand, and then I bring it to him. I go, here you go, fucker. And then I sit down, and he sits there, rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat. We catch up on shit. He goes, all right, here's your refund. He turns the fucking monitor around. I go, oh, nice. All right, I'll take direct deposit. Clicky, clicky, off you go. Pay him a little money. Done. I don't have to worry about it. You can do it that way if you want, or you can do it the way a lot of you do, and that is reach out to him and say, hey, I want to be a client. Are you in Michigan? No. All right, where are you? I'm in upstate New York. Okay, no problem. He's going to ask you for some documentation. You upload it on his portal online, and then you're in business. He'll probably ask you for last year's tax return so we can get a baseline for you. And then, your taxes are done on a certain day at a certain time. And then the next thing you know, your return shows up in your bank account. It's that simple. What are you doing? 616-301-9516. Returning customers, don't forget, he will reach out to you if you're a returning customer. But if not, reach out 616-301-9516 for Tag Accounting. Don't put this off. Do it today. You can stop the podcast. Reach out right now. Tag Accounting, 616-301-9516. It's really important that you bang on his door because he's one of these guys that's like, Zane, I need your audience to make the phone ring or you're out. So if you need somebody to do your taxes, that's the guy. You're really helping me out and doing me a solid when you engage my clients. Please do it. As is the same for A&D Cleaning. You want Amy to clean your house, 616-550-3644, A&D Cleaning. Call her up for an estimate anywhere in the West Michigan area, 616-550-3644. Thank you to A&D Cleaning. They also bring you our eternally awesome pile of mud bulldog Daisy, who is a little bit fat. We only feed the dog 1 cup, which is what you're supposed to in the morning, 1 cup in the evening. And then she goes for walks. I think it's just because she's getting older. Her metabolism is slowing down. She's becoming fat as hell. So I'm like, oh, fuck, I hate to cut your food a little, darling, but, my God. Update. No filter Kevin. Here's a guy who does not go to the doctor. The only reason why he has been to a doctor for his epilepsy is because he has to have the neurosurgeon approve his prescription. He doesn't have the prescription. He has seizures. This is important. So he keeps in touch with a neurosurgeon. However, he lives over here now. He moved in with Diana and us, all of us, after his brother, David, died. David and him were kind of like always together. And frankly, Kevin needs to live with someone. All of the years of epilepsy took a real toll on his noggin. He also has what we think is neuropathy. I guess it's never officially been diagnosed. He struggles to move. We don't even know if what is affecting his movement it might be treatable. We don't know because he hasn't gone to the doctor ever. This is not a once a year physical finger up the butt, do some blood work guy. And if you're like that and listening to this, the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing? Why not? Are you afraid that the doctor will tell you you're sick? Well, if you are, asshole, you get it caught once by going once a year, and then you have a better chance of survival. Quit being a dumb dick and go get a physical. Dumb pussy. Anyway, this dude doesn't go to the doctor. For some reason, he listens to us. We said, hey, you need to have a neurologist here in town. Your neurologist that you've been dealing with is in Detroit. You need a neurologist here. Oh, okay. In order to get that, you have to go see a doctor, a general, a family doctor first. Why? That's how it works. What do you mean? You got to get a checkup. Doesn't like that at all. I'm not doing that. I go, okay. Then no neurologist. Why? I already told you. I'm not going to the fucking damn neurologist. I'm going to the damn fucking damn motherfucking shit, motherfucker. And he gets agitated. He talks really fast, and he kind of has a southern drawl. And it's a combination of Michigan and southern. He gets all high pitched too. Normally he's not high pitched, but he gets all high pitched. He gets that shit, motherfucking shit, but fuck shit, but damn everything. Everything's got a damn or a fuck or a shit before it. Damn shit, fucking bowl of cereal. Damn shit, fuck spoon to eat the cereal. He didn't like that. So I look at him with a straight face. I try not to. I try to keep a poker face with him because he does his shit. So he's sitting there having a fucking temper tantrum. I look at him. I go, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't make the rules. It's Medicaid. I go, if you got a problem, then call them up. So he agrees to the physician. That physical is coming up, the checkup. He's sweating it. It's important. Okay, now, if by some miracle, it would be a miracle if he sat down with the doctor and the doctor said, you could stand to lose a few pounds, but you're in great shape. I would be shocked. If that happens, that is proof that he is also an alien. Part of my whole thing I've talked about for some time, there are aliens who walk amongst us. He would be one of them. Because you cannot be in tip-top shape if you are 100% sedentary, eat like garbage, uses tobacco, binge drinks daily, and has epilepsy. No way, no how. He's 59. He looks 79. It's fucking terrible. If by some miracle the doctor says, all right, reflexes look good, look in the ear, little earwax there, I got to clean that out, and boy, your lungs sound great, and I don't see anything. You look like you a marathon runner? You've been hanging out with Joe Morin on those 100-mile, 24-hour runs? You're into CrossFit? You are, aren't you? I bet you can do like 30 kipping pull-ups. Motherfucker, how are you on box jumps? I wouldn't be surprised if you ran a 5-minute mile. Got out there right now. Look at you go. Son of a bitch. Triathlons, right? What is it? What's the secret? How do you do it? If by some miracle that happens, I'll be like, what the fuck? And I think he's concerned. Okay, so initially the plan was I'm going to go into the exam room with him. Now I'm hearing, and he keeps bringing it up to Diana. He doesn't bring it up to me. He brought up something about, hey, so when I go into the doctor, I'll just go in there. Eric doesn't have to go in. Now, the point of me going in there was because he has his short-term memory is gone. And so my goal is to help him. If the doctor has suggestions about this, that, and the other thing, I can hear it with my own ears. That's the point. If it goes into his ears, it could be forgotten. And now I'm concerned that he is sniffing us out and is like, in the event that there's something wrong, I don't want Eric to hear it. I don't know. So now I have to have that conversation because I just got the news today from Diana that he doesn't want me in the exam room now. That's his choice. I mean, if he says no, I can't go in. But now I need to have the conversation. So, hey, Diana mentioned to me that you don't want me in the exam room. What's going on? How come? I thought we agreed on that. I mean, how about I just stay in there? This is what I'll do. I'm not even going to ask that question. I'm just going to go in there and say, hey, so look, man, how about I stay in there when he's talking, but when he actually does the exam, you can have some. You should probably have some privacy. I can leave then. So how about I stay for part of it? And I'm hoping he says yes. Because I don't, I mean, it boggles my mind how people get so freaked out about the doctor. And this is not a new thing for this entire family. I should say the males in the family. Diana's mom wasn't like this, but the dad, my father-in-law, and Dave, these people don't go to doctors. Diana's dad, for example, he died of what's called pulmonary fibrosis. That's when for some reason, somehow, your lungs change from pink, beautiful material that transfers oxygen and puts it into your blood, becomes a useless, fibrous, almost like connective tissue it looks like Swiss cheese. It's almost like cancer. Okay, but the lungs become hard and calcified and useless. And slowly but surely, the lungs change into this. It's like if you go to the doctor, there is definitely treatment for pulmonary fibrosis to sustain your life. If you do nothing, though, it's just going to keep destroying your lungs till you. Diana's dad, the way this went was, it got he didn't go to the doctor, so he started experiencing symptoms but didn't tell anybody. And then the symptoms of pulmonary fibrosis got so bad he couldn't breathe anymore. And then he said, yeah, I think I better go to the doctor. And he went there, and the doctor's befuddled. He's like, maybe it's pneumonia. I don't know. It seems like he can't breathe. And they're like, they did a biopsy of his lungs, and they go, he has no more lungs. He is in the last stage. He's into death. And he is in the end stage of pulmonary fibrosis. This is he's had this for years. This is what you get when you don't go to the doctor. So it's taken a long time for his lung capacity to diminish. And then, boom, you get to a point where when you finally do go to a doctor, it's because he was there 2 days. Next thing you know, he's intubated. He lasted a week. Done. These fucking people have got to go to the doctor. Got some great emails about yesterday's show, which, frankly, I was nervous as shit about. Okay? It's not, I've got a little bit more confidence in talking the way I talk today about the politics thing. And it's based on the emails. It's because of the emails I got that's like, you know what? You can pull this off. You're a big boy. You know what the fuck you're doing. Thank you for those emails. I'm going to get into that in a second. I didn't get one negative email about anything I said yesterday, which helps me. You know what that makes me feel like? It makes me feel like I resonated with some of you. Some of you folks, even who might not agree with what I said, I might have made you think a little bit because you didn't say shit to me. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you not saying shit to me. And I appreciate the ones that did say something to me because I was nervous as all get out. But first, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage is encouraging you to call upon them if you need a mortgage. NMLS number 3035. You can get a mortgage now if you got great credit for under 3%. What? Yeah, it's true. Call Mario 231-332-6505. If you're looking to get a mortgage to buy a house, call Mario. If you're a listener of this show, anywhere in the U.S., call the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. Mario and his staff are awesome. Working with the folks who have great credit is going to be a quick, awesome, amazing, no-problem process. For those of you with low credit, poor credit, no credit, whatever, he's going to work with you too. A little bit more navigating on that river. A few more boulders to move around, but he can do it. He can do it. And if you can't get a mortgage, if things are that bleak, that's okay. Don't panic. As Jocko would say, don't get frustrated. Don't give up. Ask Mario what you can do to improve your scenario. And then do something called listen and execute. 231-332-6505. Quit giving money to a slumlord. Get a mortgage today. Last sponsor, F45 Byron Center, Michigan, F45training.com. When you go to that website, F45training.com/Byron Center, click on start free trial, and you I don't know why I struggle to say that. You click on it, and you get the first week of your membership free. And that's like so you can try it out. At the end of that, if you think this isn't for me, well, then that's it. You're out. No big deal. I really like how they've managed to stay in business despite the pandemic. Governor Whitmer said no group exercise. So what they did, and then they corresponded with the Kent County Department of Health and Human Services, who came in and said, looks good to me. They walled off, taped off 9-foot by 12-foot areas on the floor. Yes, you have a person leading the exercise group, but you're safe. They've been able to manage to do that. Well done. So that's the type of place you want to go to. F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. Group training with a personal touch. F45 stands for 45-minute workouts. Workouts go on all day long. You just say, hey, I'm going to the 2 o'clock class. I'm going to the 3 o'clock class. Good to go. All right. Bathroom tile funk. Grout cleaning. Kent starts with snark. Eric, why wouldn't you reach out to your flooring experts for tips on how to clean your floors or your grout? I did. What are you talking about? No need for that. Do you always need, to take my nose and rub it in shit? I mean, excuse me. I don't know. Okay, I did. It's done. Come on, man. You know we've got you covered. Kent works for, of course, Johnson Flooring in Granville, Michigan, who, I keep reaching out to Darwin, and he's one of these people that ignores text messages, and I fucking hate that. At least tell me to fuck off. That's all you have to do is say not interested. To clean your grout, try a mixture of a half cup of baking soda, a half cup of hydrogen peroxide, and a teaspoon of dish soap. Put it in a bowl and mix it. By the way, that's I think that's the same thing you use to get the fucking stink out of a dog when it gets sprayed by a skunk. Then spoon this onto the grout. Let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. I guess it's like a slurry. Then scrub it off with a brush. Stiff bristle toothbrush will work well. This should do it. When you're done, make sure you use grout sealer on there so it's easier to clean in the future. Huh. Well done, Kent. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. I got a new cameo request. Thank you. Rick says, dummy. Rick Steinebach from TC Paintball. Subject line, dummy. I called you out in the comments, but I don't know if you'll read it. No, I won't. In regards to my intro, I sent you one like a day after I sent the first one with the Here's Easy on it. Yeah, I remember that, but I didn't do it. I'm sure you lost it. You're right. I have an idea for more content as I'm sitting here hearing you talk about ending your workday at a structured time every day. I have an idea for you to work more. LOL. It's basically the same as you do for Q100, a radio show, 30 minutes where you're playing DJ. You enjoy it. It's fun for us to hear you with DJ voice talking about music, and it's an easy content that people would enjoy to make Patreon more valuable and such. Just an idea. Also, for future paintball wars, maybe we should require pre-registration to get people moving. It works great with all my other events, so we have a lot better idea who's coming in, and it's nice to get their commitment when they think they might miss out if they don't. We take walk-ups if we have the room, but for a guarantee, we require pre-reg and prepay. Done. Ship it, book it. That needs to happen. I love that. That's better than just, hey, send me a link. Alexis. Is Alexis a chick? The name Alexis. Can that be a dude? Go to the Jennison Aldi. Buy spray bottles of Chloralin. It's a wicked-ass spray cleaner. Open all the windows and see if someone has some riot gear and a respirator. I got a respirator because it's wicked as fuck. It's around $2. If you don't shop at Aldi, you need to start. I do, man. I love Aldi. She says, I'm picky as hell and a brand snob, and I was impressed when I started shopping there 10 years ago. I don't buy everything there, but they have amazing prices on organic fruits. And, well, what the fuck? Is this a commercial for Aldi? Okay, hold on. Hold on. If that doesn't work and want to gut your bathroom, I have a guy who's doing our master bathroom, and he's fantastic. I'm attaching the bottle of cleaner and a picture of the contractor. If you shot a gun, I'd bet you hit his house. He lives so damn close. If you don't like my recommendation, it's all good. I'll still listen to you because I'm not that big of an asshole. All right. Thank you, Alexis. Alexis is a lady. Sorry that I said, is Alexis a dude or a chick? Okay. Concerning yesterday's show, Dan writes, Trucker Dan, where you been? Listened live. I have to say 100% I agree with everything you said. At some point, we have to acknowledge hypocrisy if we hope to break this cycle of shitty behavior. Thanks for not being afraid to say what needed to be said. Thank you so much for saying what needed to be said. This whole ordeal of politics has become so black and white, black hat, white hat, factionized. It's ridiculous. I got zero negative feedback. You might have some. Don't be afraid to give it to me. I mean, seriously, you're a fucking big boy or a big girl. Just don't be a cock about it, because I wasn't a cock to you. Chris writes, thank you for not mailing it. This is concerning yesterday's show. Thank you for not mailing it in today and for voicing your opinion. I know it's risky with audience, potentially losing audience members, and that was a huge concern of mine. That is absolutely true. And also sponsors if you affect them. But you nailed it on the head when you said hearing you be honest and forthright is what we signed up for. I pray you don't get any backlash. I got none. But if you do, know it is a small majority when comparing all of us who are thankfully for what you do daily and what you did today. Oh, my God. I was sweating it, man. I didn't know what to think. Stevie says, first, thank you for being honest about how you view Trump. I'm all for people standing up what they believe in, but this has gone way too far. Allison. Eric. Wanted to reach out to say thanks for your thoughtful works on today's podcast. Your bravery in tackling this tough topic head on, knowing full well not all of the audience members will agree with you, is truly inspiring. Some moments do not allow us to just sit back and hold our tongues, and this was one of them. I'm also incredibly impressed by your constant ability to change positions on subjects. Some would say that's a detriment when given new information. Be it your feelings on Colin Kaepernick kneeling or your feelings about our current president. Evolution of thought is sadly uncommon these days, and I think it's the tendency to entrench oneself in their own views that has gotten us to where we are today, so divided. Let me pause right there. It's okay to change your mind. She says, you set an amazing example for listeners in multiple ways. Your humility, your sense of humor, and your generous spirit. Thank you very much, just to name a few. I hope at least one person walked away from your podcast today on Thursday with a new outlook, or at least maybe some new thoughts to mull over. Brandon. Right. I just wanted to say today's show was very well done. One of the reasons I've supported you from the very beginning all the way back to Free Beer and Hot Wings is your willingness to share your life with us listeners, to say exactly what's on your mind and to not or rarely pull any punches. Today's an example of the kind of shows that are occasionally necessary to change things up. Current events, such as what happened yesterday, are usually on the forefront of people's minds. To ignore such things would be complete disservice. I always felt that way, especially on your show, where a lot of the audience is interested, entertained by your opinions or thoughts. Serious subjects can still be engaging and are entertaining, and today was a prime example of that. Much respect. Keep up the good work. You're doing so well. I prepaid for the next year of the Tier 2 Patreon. Sign, Brandon. He says, P.S. Give me a stab at the Zane Asylum sometimes. My tastes are a lot like Dirk, so I promise I won't let you down too much. Do it. Throw 24 songs at me, Brandon. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Dirk's, I predicted there was actually too much music. I had to scrap some of the music in order to have a show, but I did it. I produced it. I recorded it. I wrote it. No, I didn't write it. Dirk wrote it, Bruce. And then I made it and published it last night, and I wove in Adam's Oddity song into it. So, yeah, I published it, and Dirk said he's just stayed up listening to it. It was just like it was like his own playlist showing up on the radio on Patreon. So, yeah, I published that. You can check it out. It was a lot of fun. Again, Adam showing that he is too domineering in his musical taste, that the folks at Q100 laid down the law and said you could only play one Adam song a show. We love Adam, but it's just too much. So Dirk, he's a little bit more mainstream in his song choices, and that actually worked out quite well. Well done. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Okay. I've got a Ride into Work song that I'm going to play for you. I just haven't yet figured out what it is. So when you're listening to the audio podcast and the music fades, you will hear my Ride into Work song. No, I take it back. I know what it is. It's another Ray Wiley Hubbard song that I will play for you. That comes up in the Ride into Work song when the show is done. And that is it. We just whimper to the end. We just fade. I'm out of energy. Have a great weekend. Ben and Eric Patreon podcast tonight, so sign up for that on Patreon if you want that shit. And then the Patreon bonus podcast in a little bit. Keep reaching out to me with your story suggestions, things that you find interesting. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If not, it's okay too. Thank you for the time. Have a good one, folks. Bye-bye.